Sex, a word that quickly draws our attention, but as Christians, we often fail to mention. Sex, it's something the enemy has taken his time to pervert, and not understand the purpose of something can cause injury or even hurt. So let's reverse this twist and talk about what sex really is. And gather your whole family in the room, and please, especially your kids. Make sure they're listening because they need to hear it the most, because sex goes far beyond a Facebook post. We've allowed music and movies to tell us what sex means, and as a result, we're seeing 14-year-old fornication fiends. Sexual perversion isn't something new. Thousands of years ago, people were serving Aphrodite, the god of sex. The only difference is now, we can do it through a text. Men, when it comes to premarital sex, you think that you're in complete control, but you don't know that the enemy has you on strings like a puppet playing the leading role. Women, why do you insist on everything being seen? Don't you know that you're a daughter of God and that you're a queen? Sex today is nowhere close to what God intended, but there's no such thing as a broken heart that can never be mended. The enemy has made sex so perverse, so let me remove what he did and put his manipulation in reverse. Sex is no longer even associated with marriage. To most, it comes after kissing and right before a baby carriage. Sex is a gift from God given to the husband and to the wife, one of the greatest blessings to the married life. A gift given by God so that two could become one, not so that you could get up and leave as soon as you were done. Sex is to love someone in the greatest form, not to come in and shatter their heart like a storm. Most people don't know what sex really is because they've never been told, and popular icons today have conformed us to their mold. Sex doesn't make you a woman or a man, it just shows when temptation comes that you can't even stand. God gave sex to the married for love, unity, and pleasure, and when sex is used in its appropriate purpose, the benefits you can't even measure. You see, there's a new manipulation that sex is just casual. You can call it that, but that's far from the actual. You'll lie to yourself and say the spiritual and emotional side effects you can't even feel, but you can't stop God's covenant with a single pill. Saying sex is just something I do for fun is like saying when I get bored, I like to shoot myself with a gun. I know you might think what I'm saying sounds a little ridiculous, but anytime anybody stands up against the world, it always sounds a little conspicuous. I said it once, but I'll say it again. God gave sex for unity, joy, and fun, so that when a husband and wife came together, the two could become one. But today, the world has done a great job downgrading sex to the interaction between two objects. Today's sex is pornography, adultery, and fornication. But do you have any idea the destruction that follows these temporary sensations? You're absolutely wreaking havoc on your soul. That's why God gave us the ability to express self-control. Parents, you say that you're accepting, but truly you're just weak. If you don't know the destruction of fornication, then let me give you a sneak peek. It's a slow fade, and it begins with something by simply saying, I was born this way. Because the enemy knows what once brought you such satisfaction starts to lose its appeal and its attraction. So you start desiring more, but you're not really sure what it is. So you start getting yourself involved with things that the Bible clearly forbids. Confusion attacks, and you start lusting after another man or a woman after another woman. And truth be told, you never even saw it coming. Your mind loses peace, and everything starts to get so frustrating. You were just having fun, so when did everything get so complicating? You find that a road of sexual perversion leads to a life that constantly is tormenting. You start hating those people, but truthfully it's you that you're resenting. The Bible even says that sin is fun for a season, but soon those things that once were are no longer pleasing. So now you sit alone and in despair, believing lies like there's no one that cares. Well, I personally know a place where you can cast all your cares, the same man that will wipe away all your tears. You see, the only thing good about fornication is that when you give it to Christ, it allows opportunity for restoration. No one has ever went too far that they couldn't come back. Honestly, a true relationship with God is the only thing that you lack. Open up your heart to Christ and allow Him to come in and restore the things that were taken from you so that you don't have to hurt anymore. Am I perfect? No, and I don't claim to be, but I allowed Christ to come into my life and set me free. I tried and tried to overcome it on my own, but I realized I was in a battle that I couldn't win alone. I was a man with godly morals, but with the help of the enemy, my thoughts began to change. And within a year, my mind was twisted and completely rearranged. Sexual immorality didn't happen overnight. It was a slow fade, and I realized, wow, I'm in a fight. So I called out to God and said, Lord, it's you that I need. And He responded by saying, Son, I never left you, and that you no longer have to plead. He said, Son, my grace is sufficient for thee. And in the presence of His love and grace, I started to cry and fell to my knee. He said, Dalton, everything that you seek has already been provided by my Son. Now receive the power and grace I've already provided for you so that you could overcome. He then gave me instructions to follow, and I'll be honest, at first they were a little tough to swallow. He said if you can't not touch her, then don't give yourself the opportunity to see, because sometimes the best way to avoid temptation is to simply flee. Next, fast and detox your flesh, and fill yourself up with the Word of God and allow your soul to refresh. Last, your parents have wisdom that right now I know that you don't want to hear, but they are consumed with my word, and the best thing that you can do is keep them near. See, for so long I allowed the enemy to decide my fate, but when I humbled myself and gave it to God, the victory was great. Till this day, I'm on a high from my victory and thankful that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was sent for me. If sex has led you to a life of pain and sorrow, then give it to Christ today and don't wait for tomorrow. His love for you is so strong. He's never turned his back on you. He's loved you all along. If you don't know this God I speak of and you want to experience his love, then confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord and that God raised him from the grave, and you too will surely be saved. We live in a fallen world, and you can't stop a thought from entering in your head, but you can cast it down and not allow it the opportunity to plant a seed and create a bed. So allow Christ to come into your mind and renew, showing you that sex is love, patient, kind, and true. No one has messed up too much to come to Christ because his blood has covered it all. See, we were all sinners once, but Jesus took it on himself and took the fall. So let go of the ways of the world where you are no longer bound, and wholeheartedly seek after Jesus Christ, the only place that true love can be found. Is that it?